you for waiting. Yeah, I thought Connecticut played outstanding again against us. I mean, they shot 63%, 70% at half. You know, I mean, we were only down, we were down 15 points at half, and you know, I thought we played well. You know, and you know, they just wore us out in the second half. We still have kids that are sick, and it's just not 100%. And it's not an excuse. It's just a reality. But you know, I thought we battled and played a heck of a lot better against them than we have, you know, the first time for sure.
Question, go ahead, Jeff.
Coach, we make a start of the game. You guys came out strong at a lead at 1 point and played them well going to halftime. We make a start.
Yeah, I think the kids were really focused, Joe, and they understood, you know, the game plan. And I think, you know, when we're rested and healthy, you know, we're a good basketball team. It's probably the third best team in the league. But you know, clearly we wore down. They wore us down. You know, there's a lot of things that were, you know, tough for us too. You know, we got 4 fouls on them in the second quarter, 3 minutes in, and for the next 7 minutes they didn't commit a foul. Or they might have committed one. Like, I was really disappointed in that. Maybe we weren't aggressive enough. Maybe the officials just I don't know. I have to watch the film, but I thought we should have been to the foul line. I mean, we only took 2 foul shots in the first half. I mean, it's not a lot.
John?
Coach, John Armour here from She Got Game. When you guys have 3 veteran starters like the way you do, it just seems the energy and the initiator of the team still comes from your true freshman, Jada Eads, right? With that being said, you know, next season you guys lose 3 starters. Have you seen enough this season from Jada Eads to essentially, you know, give the keys to the team, essentially?
Yeah, I mean, I think John, you know, Jada brings a ton of energy. She's an outstanding player. I think she continues to develop. I mean, we're blessed here with, you know, 2 WNBA former guards, and Dee Dee Simmons and Shakina Richardson, and, you know, a tremendous teacher in Cassandra Calloway. You know, she's really learned a lot from them, and I think she'll continue to learn. But yeah, no, I mean, listen, it's Jada and Savannah's team next year. Savannah Catalan, you know, she's still recovering from the flu. She's just a warrior out there. I think we'll have arguably the best backcourt in the Big East next year with those 2, and you know, we're excited, but we still have a long way to go this year, John. Like, you know, yeah, we today wasn't a great result, but played well the first half, and I'm willing to bet any of you that their scores will be very similar to the rest of the Big East games. Creighton and Marquette are going to be tough games, but it'll be still a large. If they play this way, it'll be a large deficit. That's how good. They're the best team in the country in UConn, in my mind. They are. When they play this way, the best team in the country.
This is the 4th year you've seen Paige act actively. You know, what's the biggest difference you've seen in her since her freshman year to now as a 5th year?
It's a really good question. She plays with such great poise. You know, she doesn't let anything really, you know, get her off her game. She gets to her spot on the floor better than any player I've coached against in a long time. You know, she reminds me a lot of the former other great UConn players that got to their spots, but she does a great job of it, and she's always under control. She's never rushed or getting out of her rhythm. You know, you know, obviously she's a wonderful player, but she's just gotten better, and I think it's a tribute to Connecticut and their staff. I think people just assume Paige is really good, and she is, but she's gotten a lot better. And you know, when you have Tanya and Jamel and Morgan there, you know, teaching them as well and doing that, you're blessed. Obviously, Gino and Chris are fantastic, but those 3 are very underrated coaches. They know what they're doing. They're great workout people. They're great developers of talent. I think we try and follow that model. We really do. But I've noticed that she's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
So it's also the 4th year in a row you faced Caitlin Chen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call by
Princeton
you.
rivalry series.
Yeah.
She's. What have you seen from her in these 2 games that you've faced against UConn? How she's grown into a leadership role on UConn as a grad student.
Yeah, I think, you know, the thing about Caitlin is she's willing to adapt and be like a chameleon to what they need, which is why she's a star and why she's so valuable. Obviously, at Princeton, she needed the ball more, and you know, or they needed her to have the ball more and score more. Here they don't. But look, today one of our plans was, and it's not a secret, to play off her a little bit and try and lend more help to Sarah and, you know, Paige's people. And look, Caitlin goes 6 for 7. She's a really good player. People understand that. Like, people don't, like, Connecticut, you know, they look at when they lose a game, so they're really, really well coached, and they're talented. And, you know, you gotta get them on an off day. If you don't get them on an off day, they're gonna be really hard to beat. And Caitlin's a big part of that. She's got experience, she's played in big games. Another young lady that was super well coached by Carla and her staff, I mean, you know, so, yeah, it's, I'm glad she's graduating.
Thanks. Chris?
Well, Coach, in that same vein, you mentioned, I mean, how much of the 63.5% from the field, how much of that is defense struggling, how much of that is them just hitting shot after shot?
And we're one of the better defensive teams in the league, and we just held Providence to 38 points. You know, and our strategy was to play off of KK when she came in the game. She struggled, but you know, to limit Fudd's 3-pointers, which we did a great job. But they're so good with everything else. I mean, you know, obviously Sarah's tremendous, but look at off the bench. Aubrey was fantastic for them today, 5 for 5, and Caitlin 6 for 7. Two kids we said back off, play off, and they go 11 for 12. Just shows how deep and talented they are. I don't think our defense was great by any stretch. You gave up 90 points, but their offense was great. That's the difference. I went out to dinner with Coach on Tuesday night, and I was complimenting them about what they did against South Carolina. Changing up their offense, playing a little more fluid, playing a little more just looser. And I was afraid he was going to do that tonight, and they did, because when they do that, their skills really evolve. But he had to teach them a lot of things to get to where they can do that now, and he did, and that's why they're great teachers.
Marvin?
Oh yeah.
Coach, even though you lost against UConn, the shots that the offensive, you guys missed a lot of shots. But your offense, you seem like you had the shot that you wanted, but you just missed. Going forward, how does that make you as a coach? Like, because the offense was clicking, and just shots wasn't going down.
It was, and we've struggled shooting the ball this year, and that's not usually my teams. But what this team does is they find a way to win. And we won 18 times this year. We're in third place. We win out. We'll finish in third place. I do believe we're one of the top 68 teams in the country. Anyone who thinks taking multiple teams from other conferences that don't have to play Connecticut, don't have to play Creighton, 2 nationally ranked teams. I mean, we're the only league, when you consider these other leagues, the Ivy League, the CAA, the A10, nothing against those leagues. They have no one ranked. They have no one getting a vote. Maybe one team gets a vote, and they're all happy about that. We got the number 1 team, arguably, in the country, let alone the number 23 team in the country. So you can't compare through net and through all these stupid metrics. Just watch the games. Nobody in the A10, the Ivy League, the CAA, they're all great leagues and they have great teams. But no one's playing Connecticut. No one's playing Creighton. So when you take that out, then the next best team is Seton Hall right now. Marquette has a good team, Villanova has a good team. But we're there. Don't punish us because our net might be 70 and theirs might be 45 when they haven't played Creighton twice or UConn twice. Why don't you go play them 4 times and see what your net becomes? I'll tell you. And then once you see how hard it is to play a game, our game Sunday's hard at St. John's. Now it's really hard because we just went through a war out here. It's going to take us a couple days. So our league is really strong. I'm happy with the shots that we got. We got to make them, but it's going to be we'll play anyone, and I'm telling you, defensively we'll be fine, and offensively we'll make those shots. I mean, we're being guarded by great athletes too, and I'm glad for Aubrey. Before I forget, Aubrey's parents went here. She's a wonderful young woman. She went to Ossining. We've had a lot of kids from Ossining. I'm excited, and I'm glad Aubrey played well. She's a wonderful person who's come through a lot of adversity, and she might always be a Husky, but she's got a little pirate in her as well.
John?
You just kind of spoke about a lot of the success the team's having, and a lot of that success has to do with ease, right? I think and personally believe she's one of probably the most underrated freshmen in the country. You hear Michaela Blakes, you hear Keoma McMillan, you hear all of these great freshmen. Where do you believe she belongs in these conversations, and do you believe she at some point she will get the recognition as these other players?
Absolutely, and I think she's starting to get some recognition, thankfully, from people like yourself, and that's really important to us. You have a great outlet there that we all enjoy reading and watching and listening to and doing all those things that you do. Jade is one of the best freshmen in the country. There's no question about it, and she loves it here at Seton Hall because she knows that we care for her, we develop her as a person, and then we develop her as a player. And she's gonna lead this team if we don't get into the NCAA tournament this year, and I still believe we will. I do. Then we'll be in it next year for sure. Her and Savannah will be the best backcourt around.
Hi, Jackie, the Setonian. Coming off a great start to conference play and continuing such a strong season with you guys, and looking to March, what, in particular, the strengths in this team do you hope to build on?
I think we were very resilient. I mean, we lost a hard game to Marquette. We just 8 kids. Everyone was sick, and Marquette played well. I give them credit, but, we played, with the shell of a team, and it was hard, and we had to go to Providence next, a team that was picked 3rd in their league. Not only did we bounce back, we held them to 38 points and won the game by 20 points. So this team is very resilient, and it starts with faith. Like, everyone's like, you gotta have faith. We do have faith. And Faith Masonis has been such a blessing to this program. You're a wonderful young woman. Her mother and father are wonderful people. Mother's a legendary coach here in the state. Ellen raised 10 kids, Faith being 6, the number 6 kid. And we would never have the success we've had without Faith. She's been amazing. She's tired. She's beat up. She's 24 years old. She's got foot issues. She's got knee issues. She's missed 0 practices this year. She's missed 0 sprints. She's missed 0 of anything. She's been tremendous ambassador of the program. What I see is we have a resilient team led by Faith, Amari, Savannah, our captains, and they're going to come out and they're going to play their heart out every game. And that's one thing I've enjoyed coaching this team as much as any team here in 12 years. And it's because of the young lady. So you asked me what we're going to be good at. We're going to come back. We're going to be resilient. We're going to play. We'll play a better game on Sunday.
Bill?
Coach, you had 19 turnovers. What can you do better next time?
Yeah, we got to take care of the ball.
Prevent that.
Yeah, we got to take care of the ball, Bill, and we usually do. We lead the Big East, I think, in turnover differential. We caused 1 million of them. We had, I think, we caused 24, 25 against Providence the other day.
23.
23 against Providence the other day. We caused a lot of turnovers. We tried tonight. I tell you, I thought we had a few too that were blown for fouls. But, we did force 15 turnovers. We had 19. So, I think we need to flip that a lot against St. John's. But I think we have an opportunity to do very well taking care of the ball because we have good ball handlers and they take care of the ball for the most part.
Last one, Chris.
Yeah. Coach, you guys are still within 2 after about 30 minutes of play, or 15 minutes of play rather, and then ultimately you're still neck and neck or you're keeping pace for most of the first half of the third quarter. Even despite the score, despite the margin, how much of a confidence boost is this, especially if you end up seeing them again?
Chris, we called timeout, and I appreciate those kind words, and your writing is fantastic.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We called timeout, I think with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, or maybe the media at 5 minutes, and we were down 15. So we were even for that quarter. And I said, ladies, let's just make a little push and just outscore them by 2 points for the next 5 minutes. And then we go to the fourth quarter down 13, and I know it's still a long shot, but you never know. Then you throw in a couple threes and stuff. And that's where their conditioning and their athleticism and their mental toughness that coach has been hammering all year. I know we talked about last night. They finally have gotten that killer instinct in them because they didn't. This is, and that's where I think it took over. We turned the ball over a couple times, they got going. But then again, that's where someone like Aubrey, someone like Chen make a huge difference. They go 11 for 12. That's pretty good. Everyone's like, oh, it's Paige. Those kids just started to extend the lead, and then, then it becomes a snowball effect. And, they're just I don't mean this that we're not in good shape. They're just physically better than we are right now. And, in order for us to be competitive, we knew we needed to slow the game. And I was hoping they wouldn't shoot 63%. That was another problem. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
Coach.
you.